Ark Survival Evolved is a game, right? Yeah, it 100% is. And in today's video, I'm just going to talk about my general thoughts and opinions of the game as someone who's played this thing for absolutely ages, like since release. It has been a crazy journey ever since the beginning, and I just want to express maybe some thoughts on what I think of the game, what I think of what the game is doing currently, how I think the game is doing currently, my opinions on things like ASA and Bob's Tool Tales and all the DLCs and just general things. So let's just start from the beginning. It's 2015, I think it's either June or July, and obviously it comes out in early access, and you've got yourself the island. Then obviously later to come on you get Scorched Earth and Ragnarok and Aberration, Extinction, and so on and so on, and you get all of those other maps like Crystal Isles, Fjorda, etc. All of those maps release too, and with everyone you get an extent of creatures, and I've really enjoyed all the creatures that are released with all of Ark's new maps, from the island right the way up to Fjorda and all of that stuff. They have all really excited me, and as a player of the game I really did enjoy them, and I still use a lot of them quite a lot to this day, especially with the Desmodus in Fjorda, the Bloodstalker in Gen 1. I really like some other creatures that appear, like the Mantis in Scorched Earth. The Wyverns have played a big part to a lot of people's Ark experiences as well, and they of course first released on Scorched Earth 2. Scorched Earth has actually brought us quite a lot, which I think we don't give it enough credit for. And then Aberration, you've got Rock Drakes, and you've got Reapers, and you've got the Nameless, although you wouldn't tame those. And you've got all the aberrant versions of the creatures. You've got the Karkanos, man, and there's many others which I'm forgetting. And then Gen 1, I've already gone over that, but you've also got other creatures like the Ferox and the Magmasaur, which is quite a fan favourite, I think, of a few of you out there. I can definitely see why. It is a very cool creature. Not quite my cup of tea though. And then Gen 2, you've got things like the Shadowmane, the Maywing, that's an absolute legend. You've got the Striders on top of that too. You've got the Astrodelphish, you've got the Voidworm. There is just so much going on in terms of when a new map releases, and it's still a while until a new map is going to release, because I'm not really counting the ASA maps. And you know, when the new ASA map surprise drops, who knows what it's actually going to bring, because all of these are just Ark Survival Evolved maps with, yeah, a few extra creatures. The Phasazuchus, the Oasisaur, the Gigantoraptor, they have all been very nice additions to the game, and they have added some significant things to some regards. They all have very nice abilities, they all work quite nicely as creatures, and I do like them as creatures as well. And it's not like I'm going to put loads of hate on all these new creatures. There's only 3 of them, which is a little bit of a shame. But considering ASA only came out in October of 2023, we haven't given the game enough time to really settle in. Because I don't want to say, oh, ASA is worse than ASE because it's got way less content in it. Even though I would say it kind of is. But we haven't given it the time. Ark Survival Evolved is 9 years old, and if you took Ark Survival Evolved at this time after release, so you know, October to, we're currently in May, if we push that back and however many months it is, I'm not going to be bothered to do the maths. I can do the maths, but I can't be bothered. You know, ASA would seem a much better game than Ark Survival Evolved, so we really do need to give it much more time to develop over all of this, because really they are putting a lot of effort into this game, and you can really see it with that Scorched Earth expansion. The island was a little bit of a shame, but I'm sure that will get fixed over time, hopefully at least. SOTF, the revival of that was absolutely awful, and I'm sad to see it gone. At least I think it's gone now. Really was a shame, because now you really can't play SOTF anywhere whatsoever, and people were playing it, but not too many, I would say. I don't get why they couldn't have just kept that original SOTF game running, because I think quite a lot of people were enjoying that, especially when they added all the stuff. They tried to revive it, but seemingly to no avail. They could have kept it nevertheless though, because I still liked hopping on it once in a while. It was fun, and I reasonably enjoyed it as well. It was a very nice thing for just me to do, but the times have finished with that now, and you can no longer play SOTF apart from the SOTF 2 mod. So as long as you've got like 60 friends, 30 friends, 20 friends or something like that, you can all bring them on there and you can do one of those. But you know, that's maybe a little bit less easy than just jumping into a lobby with everything. Also, the cool music that was on the original one on the title screen as well, that will be sorely missed too, but that was obviously missed when they updated the game anyway. Still really liked the original one actually before they even updated it. Definitely did get better once they updated it, but they could have at least kept that original menu screen, right? But it did give you a little bit kind of a blast to the past, if you will, with all of the UI still being back like it was in the old days of Ark, because it really didn't get updated until I think it was December of 2022, something around that is when SOTF actually started to like come around in that sense, and that was actually it was quite a nice thing. But either way, now to stop talking about SOTF and let's just talk about what I think of just ASC as a whole. I really do like this game. I love all that it stands for as a survival game. If you made me choose between Ark and Rust, I'm sorry, but I'm going to be choosing Ark. I do like Rust as a survival game too. I just feel Ark has more of the characteristics that I like in a survival game. And also, who doesn't like dinosaurs? Come on, you've got tons of them in this game, and it is just so nice to explore a game with all of these kind of dinosaurs and cool creatures, and also just kind of goof around, because at the end of the day, Ark is quite a goofy game after all, so you do have to give it a lot of credit for its goofiness. It really manages to pull it off while still maintaining some seriousness, and the PvP, while maybe not quite as good as Rust, I would say in some cases, it still can be quite enjoyable, but I mainly tend to stick to the PvE side of things. That's just how I like to play the game, really. I like all the building mechanics in the game. It is really cool. Love it to absolute bits, honestly. Especially with the new ASA building mechanics as well. It has made everything so much nicer. But S Plus obviously really did add a lot to the original game, and you can still download that mod, of course. I've still got it downloaded because I'm still playing a lot of ASE, but not really as much ASA, because the content just isn't there on ASA. It's like, a tea that hasn't been brewed for long enough. It's a very British way of saying things, but just like it just needs a little bit longer to actually be palatable to some extent. It is, but it's just tasting a little bit too much like water at the moment, in my opinion. But Ark is a beautiful game. It is honestly my favourite game out there. I don't think any other game releasing, even from Wildcard in fact, can actually top this game. It is where all of my gaming memories really do lie, at least all the ones that I really strongly remember, all those fun times with friends, all of just exploring around the map and the adventurousness of this game. And of course it's very addictive.